Hi and Assalamualaikum to Sejai. So, our group today will present about the major factor affecting current exchange rate of Philippines. So, first I would like to introduce myself and my name is Afif Nu'man bin Barhanuddin and my fellow member is Amir Akmal and Kait Zarul Kaidi. First of all, I will talk about the background of Philippines. The Philippines is an archipelago located in the Southeast Asia and it is consisting of 7,641 islands. The capital of the Philippines is Manila and the language spoken is Filipino and English. And the current president is Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. And this Philippines is well known for its cultural heritage such as Barong, Tagalog, Sinulog Festival, colorful jeepneys, and the traditional dishes like adabo and lechon. Now, let's talk about the history of Philippine currency. First is pre-Hispanic era. Barter trade was a primary system of exchange, and the items like gold, beads, and other valuables were used as a currency. A small gold nuggets, or we call polencitos, and gold bartering were early form of money. And next is Spanish period. It is from 1921 to 1898. The Spanish introduced silver coins called coke and das mandas, and it was a pillar dollar. The Philippine peso originated during this period, and it was initially based on the Spanish silver peso. Next one is American period, and it was from 1898 to 1946. The United States was established the Philippine peso as a separate currency tied to the gold standard, and the coin and banknotes was featured Philippine heroes, local landscape, and the symbols. And next is Japanese occupation, and it was from years 1942 to 1945. The Japanese introduced Mickey Mouse money, peso notes, during World War II, and which is become virtually worthless due to hyperinflation. And for the last one is post-independence era. It was from 1946 and for the current year. The Central Bank of the Philippines, now it is was Banco Central Philippine (BSP), and it was established in 1949 to issue and manage currency. And in 1973, the new design series was introduced, showcasing national heroes and landmark. And the current new generation currency, NGC, it was launched in 2010 and it was featuring enhanced security features and update design of heroes, culture icons, and the natural wonders. Next, let's talk about the major export. First is electrical machinery and equipment. This category is the largest, accounting for approximately 55.6% of total export, and it was valued at around 40.6 billion in 2023. The key items include semiconductors, electronic integrated circuits. Next one is machinery, including computers. It was representing about 8.7% of total export, and this category generated roughly about 6.3 billion in revenue, and it is included various machinery parts and accessories. The next one is copper, and the export of copper product make up about 3.4% of total export, and it was valued at approximately 2.5 billion. And the last one is optical, technical, and medical apparatus. This category also accounts for around 3.4% of export, and it is reflecting the country's capabilities in producing medical and optical equipment. And for major export partner, it is United States, Japan, Chinese, Hong Kong, and South Korea. Next is major import. First is petroleum oils. Petroleum oils representing about 9.87% of total import. Petroleum products are crucial for energy and transportation needs in the country. Next is coal and solid fuels. This category make up about 4.40% of total import and primarily used for power generation. The next one is motorcars and other motor vehicles. This was accounts for approximately 2.44% of imports, and it is reflecting the demand for transportation vehicles in the growing economy. And the last one is pharmaceutical product, and it was making about 1.85% of this total import and is essential for healthcare and medical service.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Qadar Khaidi bin Syafur Bahrain. Today, I will present about the factor that affect peso exchange rate in Philippines. Firstly, inflation. In 2023, as we can see here, it reached to the highest point in about 6%. It also caused weaker in peso and lower purchasing power. It also indicates higher interest rate at the time, but finally in 2024, inflation dropped to 3% due to effort to control the price. Second factor is interest rate. 2021 had the lowest interest rate in Philippines, but at the end of the year, it started rising quickly and reached to the highest point in 2023. And lastly, rates went down a little in 2024, that showing effort to keep them steady. Next factor is GDP, Gross Domestic Product. In 2019, the economy grew by 6% in the year, but it fell down to negative 9% in 2020 and causing a recession. But a quick recovery occurred in 2021 and 2022, which in 2022, the point almost reached to the 8%. And lastly, in 2023 and 2024, it stayed steady around 5%. Last factor is unemployment rate. For the starting point, in 2019, unemployment rate was 5% and it jumped to 10% in 2020. After 2020, unemployment rate went down, that showing slow improvement. And finally, it dropped to 4.8% in 2023. Lastly, 2024, it fell down to 4.3%, showing job growth.
Assalamualaikum. For my part, I will analyze key economic indicators from 2019 to 2024. From 2019 to 2024, key economic indicators fluctuates. Inflation averaged 3.59%, showing stability, while the benchmark interest rates for which is 4.375% varied the economic conditions. GDP growth ranged from negative 9.52% to 7.58%, reflecting recession and recoveries. The exchange rate for peso per US dollar averaged 52.91, with moderate change and employment rate of 4.3 to 10.4% was impacted by instabilities. This trend reflects economic shift driven by policy and external factors. Next is the regression models. The regression models explain 88.2% of the variation of R square of 0.882, but adjusted R square of 0.411 suggests overfitting with F change of 1.874 and its p-value of 0.494. It lacks statistically significance. Refining like addressing multicollinearities or removing weak predictors may improve reliabilities. Next is ANOVA. The ANOVA table shows that the regression models explain some variations in the average exchange rates for peso per US dollars, but it is not statistically significant, which is for F change value is 1.874 and its p-value of 0.494. This suggests weak predictive power requiring refining and additional predictors. Next is coefficients. The coefficient table shows that none of the predictors significantly impact the average exchange rate for peso per US dollars at the 0.05 level, while inflation rate have a positive relationship and benchmark interest rate, GDP growth rates and unemployment rate show negative relationship. All p-value indicates insignificance. This result, allied with ANOVA findings, suggests that need for model refining or additional predictors. Last but not least, correlations. The correlation analysis shows that the average exchange rates rise with year-end benchmark interest rates, but fall with unemployment rates. Unemployment also negatively correlation with benchmark interest rates and GDP growth rates. Other correlation are insignificant.
Now, let's we talk about the solution. The first solution is the strengthen domestic industry and export growth. So how it is work? The government can support local industry by providing incentive for manufacturing and agriculture to boost export, by encourage business to produce more competitive goods for export and increase the inflow of foreign currency. By doing that, we can strengthening the peso. Reducing reliance on imports by developing local substitute can reduce the demand for foreign currency. Next is the second solution. The second solution is maintain stable monetary and fiscal policy. And how it's going to work in Philippines. The Bangko Sentral Philippines BSP can adjust interest rate to attract investor and maintain exchange rate stability. Second is government fiscal discipline, reducing unnecessary borrowing and spending, prevent excessive demand for foreign currency. And next is ensuring low inflation through responsible money supply management makes the peso more attractive. Lastly, the conclusion. The Philippine exchange rate is influenced by several key factors. It was including remittance, trade balance, interest rate, inflation, and foreign investment. Strengthening local industry, boosting export, and maintaining stable monetary policy can help stabilize the peso. And by encourage economic growth and responsible financial management, the country can achieve a more stable and more competitive exchange rate. Thank you and selamat puasa.